People always say that's how you know when you're getting old, is when you get up, you're like, ugh. Like every time you sit down, you're like, ugh.
Let me redo it then. All right. All right.
All right, guys. Welcome back to our channel. If you guys are new here, my name is Jess. This is my husband, Tyler.
Yep.
And so for our YouTube channel, we were really thinking about the direction and like what we want to provide, because we're definitely in the business of wanting to provide value. And while we love doing like vlogs and stuff, that stuff doesn't fulfill us or like make me happy to my core. Obviously I want to show you guys things, and we will when we will, but
we will when we will. Be right back.
But where are you going?
Getting my Bible.
Oh, but we just want to provide more value in other ways. So we're gonna start doing more of these kind of like motivational or just like helpful talks, things that we've learned that we're like, wow, this really has just changed our trajectory of thinking or how we do things, how we approach life, etc. So this is gonna be like episode 1 of that. So
let me start.
Today, well, can I intro what we're talking about?
Let me start. Let me share. Then you can say whatever you'd like after that, because this will tie right into it.
But they don't know what we're gonna talk about.
They will once I say this.
Okay.
So, Ephesians 4:29 in the Bible, New Testament. Don't use foul or abusive language. Let everything you say be good and helpful, so that your words will be an encouragement to those who hear them. Take it away.
I haven't finished chewing.
Take it away.
Where are you going now?
Put my Bible back.
All right, so today we're gonna be talking about the power of positive thinking. I know that sounds cheesy, but it's freaking not. And I bet you don't even know how much self-sabotaging you do to yourself on a daily basis from all this negative, subconscious negative self-talk that you think and say about yourself.
Goats.
All right.
Totes my goats.
So that's one of the things that we've learned from Modere. All right, so the power of positive thinking. If you think that you cannot do something, you can't, because you've already made the decision in your mind that you can't. But if you tell yourself like, I can do this, you are already pushing yourself, your mind, everything, your energy into the direction in which it will happen, or you will keep doing it until it happens. Give the example of us at the gym earlier today.
All right, so for those who don't know, I do Olympic weightlifting. If you don't know what that is, you better Google it, because I'm gonna tell you, but it's too hard to describe. So there's 2 primary movements in Olympic weightlifting. There's snatching and there's clean and jerks. Both movements, the barbell goes over your head. The snatch is like this. So I was doing snatch today. One of my best friend is also my coach, and he has me going super heavy on snatch today to the point of a new PR, which is personal record or personal best, whatever it may be for you. And so I was getting to my number. This is a new number I've never hit on the snatch. Took me about 6 attempts. But in my mind, I knew the first 5, I was like, dude, what's going on?
He was getting pissed.
I was getting mad. And I'm pretty competitive silently. I'm a silent competitor. I compete with myself because I set the standard super high for me. And so that's why I get mad, because I'm like, I should be able to do this. And if I don't, that's when my emotions get the best of me sometimes.
His inner body,
I'm like,
body language, everything.
The first one's not that big of a deal, but then the second one, the third one, the fourth one, I'm like, oh my god.
He was like, oh! He would be like, oh! Oh! And so I was watching him, and I literally was like, Tyler, I started dancing. I was like, turn that frown upside down, smile. He goes, you better think that you can do it, because if you think you can't do it, we can't do it.
She's doing this whole cheerleading thing.
If you can do it, you can do it. And I was like, and you can do it.
But it's funny though, because
I was like, you just have got to change it in your mind.
Yeah.
It's all about your mind.
As she was saying this, I was already rewiring my mind too. I was like, and that's why it took me 6 attempts, because in my head I'm like, I'm not leaving here until I do it, because I know I can do this, and I'm going to do this right now. Like it's a wrap. I'm doing it. And so 6th attempt comes.
He did
boom,
it.
I did it.
Didn't even struggle.
Here, let me see if I can pull up.
No. It's too long. We just need to get back into it.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, that's not.
Anyways, it was just one of those things where in your head, it's just, dude, you can do it. Just do it. Stop thinking and just do it. I'm like, cool, let's do it.
So, negative thinking, like the act of negative thinking, is one of the most powerful things that we as humans do to ourselves. If you say something out loud, it is already 10 times more powerful than if you were to just think it. So saying something out loud, 10x, right? Data studies have shown that negativity is 4 to 7 more times powerful than positivity. So say you're saying something out loud, right? We already said it's already 10x as soon as you say it. So you think something may not happen, you say something, it's 10x. If you are saying something negative, it's 40 to 70 times more powerful and likely that it will happen or cause a result to make it happen. Negativity is the most powerful thing that us humans are combating on a daily basis. Like any person, anything you're going through. So when you're saying negative things that haven't even happened yet, you're automatically kind of guiding yourself to make that happen. So like I said, these are our thoughts, right? You're saying something out loud. Positivity is already at an incline, 10%. However, when you say something negative, you may be here and you may be saying, oh, this, all down here, but you're here, you're saying it, and you're literally forcing yourself into it. So, one exercise that we learned during one of our elite retreats was just practicing positive self-talk. And it feels so awkward in the very beginning when you first do it. But when I started doing it, this was like over a year ago. I need to start doing it again because I do say some negative things about myself and I have to catch myself. But I woke up and I said 5 positive things about myself, or 5 positive things that I was going to do or going to be. So I woke up and I was like, I am going to be a great wife today. I am going to have a positive attitude. I am not going to let my anger get a hold of me. I'm going to be a light and radiate sunshine and love. I'm going to do things that will make me successful, just like steps that will help me continue building my success, and something else. I don't know, whatever. And just by laying in bed and saying those affirmations about yourself, you are already like gearing your mind up to start working towards that the rest of your day. But if you wake up and you're like, oh, I hate my job, oh my God, I hate my life, oh my God, I'm so ugly, you are literally already forcing your day down. You're putting that energy out there. So that was the first thing. The second activity, this one I kind of just added to myself. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna track on my phone how many negative things that I say about myself per day. And I was shocked because I didn't even know. I was literally doing it subconsciously all the time. I like put on an outfit and I was like, ew, like I look weird. And I'm like, there's one. To me, it is nothing, right? Because we do it so often that we don't even know that we're doing it. And I think at the end of the day, I tallied like, I said like mean stuff about myself to myself like 25 times. And I was like, geez. So then the next day I was like, you know what? Let me track the positive things I was saying. And I think I'd only verbally said maybe 7 or 8 things positively about myself. But I already consider myself like a pretty positive person. I think in my mind I'm positive, but I'm really not. So I changed that whole thing. And for every time that I said something negative, like moving forward in that week, every time I said something negative about myself, I automatically like rebutted it and said something positive about myself. And then as the weeks went on, I noticed that I was not talking about myself negatively anymore. and my work was getting better. My mood was getting better. I had more energy. Like, even just negative thoughts, they suck so much energy out of you. And it's not things that coffee and all that stuff can fix. Like, you are in charge of your energy. And sometimes I'm like, I'm lazy, I'm too tired, like, I don't want to do this. Like, if you just say like, no, like, we can do this, we can get it done really fast, I can do this, blah, 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 like, and I get it done and I feel good and I feel great, and then you're more productive. So it's really all about your attitude, your outlook, and how you speak to yourself. You guys, I want you guys to practice that and just see where your day goes, where your mood goes, how you view yourself. Like,
you are a child of God, and
yes.
that is why the verse is telling you that in Ephesians 4:29, because you should be thinking and talking about yourself the way God thinks and talks about you.
And sees you.
Exactly. And that is, there's nothing negative about that. Even in the days where you feel like you're just down in the dumps, it's like, dude, it's not that big of a deal, because God still sees you in his own image, and that's where you need to set the standard for yourself, and that's where you need to speak about yourself, and that's what you need to see yourself as at the same time. So, learn the skill of accurate thinking, and do not let your past predict your future. A lot of people will say, oh, the past predicts the future because, you know, behavior, blah, blah, blah. That is true if you let it be true. But your past doesn't have to predict your future if you change your behaviors, right? God gives you the choice.
God gives you the choice. Now, the story of the 1480 story. This is one of my freaking favorite stories ever. Also learned it at an elite retreat through Justin Prince.
Dang.
So there was this kid. This is kind of like the spark notes. Like, I might get some details wrong, but just the overall gist of it is what you need to take away. So there's this kid, you know, he's like a sophomore or junior or something, flunking out of high school, sucks at school, not even going to class anymore. And then I think he has to go and take the SATs, right? So he goes and he takes the SATs, I think because mom wants him something, whatever. He gets his test back, and at that point, I think the SATs were out of 1600. He got a 1480. He scored a 1480. That is like freaking almost perfect. So
at that time.
What
the test score was.
So when he got his test results back, his mom was looking at it. He's like, did you cheat? Like, how did you get such a high score? And he's like, no, like, you can't even cheat because everyone's Scantrons are different, everyone's test booklets are different, you literally can't cheat. And she's like, wow, like, good job, you know? And he's like, dang, like, 1480, I really must be smart. So because he was like, well, you know, if I scored 1480, I must be smart, I might as well just go to class because I'm clearly good at class and classwork, and let me try to graduate. So he goes to class, he starts applying himself, he starts getting really good grades, he graduates, he goes to a really, really good university, and then he ends up becoming one of the like most successful businessmen in the magazine company, like multi-million, maybe billionaire, I don't know. And so now, you know, he's this great successful guy, and some people are like, oh, well, you know, he figured out that he was smart, so he just applied himself. That is not the point of the story. So every 10 or 12 years or something, the SAT score company, they kind of go back and they reassess all of the tests and the scores to make sure that all the scores and everyone was sent the right score. He was actually sent someone else's test score. He scored like a 700, like not good at all. He was given someone else's test score by accident.
Years later.
10, 12 years later, like years later. And so when he got it in the mail, he was like, oh my gosh, like I didn't score a 1480. Like I wasn't a genius, but simply because he got that test score and he started thinking, I am smart, I am capable, I can graduate. He did it, and he became so successful. But imagine he got that 700 score, he would have been like, oh, this just confirms that I suck. And he probably would have not made anything out of his life, not been successful, and not here sharing his story being like, it's literally the power of positive thinking. Isn't that crazy? That's one of my favorite stories. So You know, I encourage you to just tally how much self-sabotaging you do for yourself throughout the day. And it may be alarming, but it's very humbling. And you gotta like self-reflect and notice and recognize these things and then change them, because not only is it good for you, but you know, when if you guys want to be parents, it's something that you want to recognize in your kids as well. If your kids are doing it to themselves, be the person to change that for them. Like, it's so hard being a teen these days. I couldn't even imagine. I thought being a teen during our years was hard. I can't imagine now with social media and like how much sabotage girls and guys do. Make it a practice. Change the trajectory of your life and do it for you. Do it for your friends. Do it for your family. Do it for your future family, because you guys are way more capable than you think, and you can do things that you want to do. You really can. You just gotta believe that you can.
Totally.
All right.
Love y'all.
Love y'all. Subscribe if you like our vids. I hope you guys liked this new kind of like theme episodic stuff we're doing. And we will see you guys next time. Mwah. Peace. And add me on Instagram.